Denzel Washington just got tied to Diddy's freak-off parties, and word on the streets is that the feds have a lot of evidence against him, and he is not going free. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of shocking to imagine the Denzel Washington at those types of events because we all thought that he was a stand-up guy, but it looks like he has been playing in our faces the entire time. The feds are not here to play because some new footage just leaked of Denzel leaving one of Diddy's wild parties, looking guilty AF. So what did he really see at them parties? And did he really help Diddy plan the freak-offs? Let's break it down. If there is one person in the industry who has remained steadfast in being a good guy, it's Denzel Washington. He is one of the very few movie stars who have managed to remain down to earth and seems to have his head on straight. For example, during the Hollywood Reporter's Oscar Directors Roundtable, Denzel sat down with Mel Gibson and other directors. And when he was asked about his worst job before acting, Denzel brushed off the idea that acting is somehow more difficult or meaningful than any other profession.
Under Iraq, that's difficult. It's just a movie. It's like, relax. I don't play that precious nonsense. Oh, move over, get out of here. You know, your son got shot in the face, that's difficult. Making a movie is a luxury. It's a gift. It's an opportunity, and most importantly, it's a gift. Obviously, everybody here is talented enough to do that, but don't get it twisted. It's just a movie. It ain't that big a deal.
He has also been quite open about how there are some powerful people in the industry who deliberately go out of their way to control Black artists and manipulate them using fame. In an interview, Denzel revealed that the reason he strongly opposes the use of words like movie star is because he knows that it's a tool for the elite to control actors. He said, "Titles have nothing to do with me. That's not who I am. It's like the term movie star. What does that mean? It's just a label they give you until they replace it with another one. Has been. I don't claim either." That's not all, because he has also refused to take part in any form of Hollywood glorifying Black suffering as a form of profit, and he has consistently distanced himself from that sort of thing. He hasn't hidden this because he has spoken over and over in interviews how ridiculous and dehumanizing he finds it.
And then they tried to hang him and they tried to do all this stuff, and I had a lot of training day in me. There were some Jewish people in the audition, and I said, yeah. They said, no, it's funny. It's like they hang them and then they can't. I said, yeah, like you bring some Jewish people into a room and they think it's a shower, but it's gas. And they said, right. I said, right, that ain't funny. So to me, it wasn't funny about putting a rope around my...
So how did we go from Denzel being such a great guy to him being tied to a hot mess like Diddy's party? Well, it all started when an old video resurfaced of Denzel running away from Diddy's after party. Okay, so for some context, when Diddy turned 40, he threw himself a super lavish birthday party, which is exactly what you would expect from a hard partier like him. The party was filled to the brim with the biggest celebrities in Hollywood, and it was clear that the party was a rave. However, while the main party was a big one, rumor has it that he had a much smaller after party, that he had a smaller guest list that was pretty exclusive. The after party only had some of the biggest names, and allegedly Denzel Washington was on that list. This isn't surprising because he is one of the greatest actors ever and gets passes to the most exclusive events. Now, it's not clear why Diddy invited him to his after party, but he did. And whatever Denzel saw at the after party, it freaked him off so badly that he left halfway into the party. On his way out, he ran into the paparazzi, and when he saw them, he looked kind of freaked.
Trained professional.
See, we could call 50 motherfuckers, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for you. We could call 50 fools, man. That's what you want? Us to call 50 paparazzi or what? Hey, relax. All right then.
So what exactly did Denzel see to make him that freaked out? Well, considering the things that we now know about Diddy's parties, I guess it's safe to assume that he probably saw a lot. I mean, even federal officers with years of experience were shocked by what they saw when they raided his houses. Their indictment documents reveal just how bad it is, saying, as part of his pattern of Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial S workers. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial S workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and the feds also claimed that Diddy allegedly used the employees and some of his celebrity friends to facilitate his freak-offs. The document said the defendant used the Combs business, including certain employees, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his and commercials. Those employees included security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and high-ranking supervisors, and other close associates acted as Combs' intermediaries, and their conduct was facilitated and assisted by Combs' control of the Combs business. Oh, and y'all remember the 1,000 bottles of baby oil that the Fed seized from Diddy's houses? Well, there are some reports that claim that they weren't just your regular degular baby oil, because they were allegedly spiked with substances like GHB, which would make the victim unable to move or run away.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. I mean, because in the complaint, the Fed's complaint, they talk about all of those bottles of body oil. So we knew there was a lot of lubricant, but do you have any idea what may have been in it? Is there something that could have been in it that would have made it so she couldn't move?
So I've done some internal research after I had my intake with my client, and it seems that oil in general is used as a conduit for specific, like for instance, GHB. So in order to get that to topically take into somebody's body, you need a conduit, which is typically oil. So it seems to me that there were some types of mixed into the oil, which is why he was dousing her in that oil prior, not only to make it easier to her, but that was what was lowering her defenses.
Can you imagine how wild that party would have been? It's no surprise that Denzel got out of there as fast as he could, because who wants to get swept up in that sort of thing? Well, according to Jaguar Wright, just because Denzel left that particular party doesn't mean that he didn't attend other parties, because according to her, she has receipts of Denzel getting freaky at Diddy's parties, like one that was held at a hotel she was staying at. She also claimed that she witnessed Diddy and Denzel allegedly SA-ing someone. Girl, say what now?
Okay, so you remember how I told you I pretty much lived at the Mondrian in the early 2000s when I was in LA, until I moved to another hotel that didn't try to turn me into a drug addict and make me a witness to SA crimes. Now, a lot of people don't know, but Denzel, for a large part of his career, was a raging head. True. And I can say that because I know he snorted with my uncle. But what I will say is that he was always very discreet and very professional. Before he would go into a big role, he would exercise his demons.
Okay, look.
He would check into a hotel and he would work it out for a week or two.
Okay, so no disrespect to family. We'll talk about it on Jaguar Wright Uncensored. How about that?
What do you mean no disrespect to family?
Because I got questions.
No, because the Mondrian came to me and asked me if I wanted to move my hotel room. And they were going to give me a suite that was $2,000 more than the suite I was already paying for. And I thought it was a scam. And they said, Mr. Washington is booking out the floor. Your room is the only room left, ma'am. We will give you one of the top suites and you move into there for no extra charge. I didn't believe them.
Child, the thought of Denzel snorting stuff is wild, but not as wild as Jaguar's allegations of him renting out an entire floor of a hotel to do weird stuff. If this is true, then it's shocking. At the same time, we have to realize just how similar this is to the stuff that Diddy did. Cassie said in her lawsuit that he often rented out hotel floors for the freakoffs, and whenever he put paws on her and left her with bruises, he would also rent out hotel floors so she could recover privately without people finding out what he did to her. Fans are shook by these allegations, and they commented, "All this ish. What's going on without everyone else knowing? They all should be in prison. If he was a normal person, he would be in prison by now. Disgusting people. I'd like to think Denzel is a Christian, yet I think of Will and Jada and how Denzel defended Will's conduct at the Oscars and think maybe he ain't all that pure. And it's often said that those who scream the loudest and judge the most have the most to hide. Karma's a B." But do y'all believe the allegations of Denzel being involved with Diddy, or do you think that he's too good for that sort of thing? Drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.